What does it mean to you to be a citizen?
The ability to do whatever you want to your heart's content.
I think to respect the laws and do your part to make sure that there's a legacy left for people that come behind us.
Being an active part of your community in a positive way, looking out for your neighbors.
Being a citizen means that you have the equal rights that other people in your community do, and that the government would be willing to stand up for you the same way.
The word citizen comes from a French word that originally meant being an inhabitant of a city or town. But being an inhabitant does not always mean having rights.
We have to choose someone.
Why just us? We represent all the great houses, but whomever we choose, they won't just rule over lords and ladies. Maybe the decision about what's best for everyone should be left to, well, everyone.
Maybe we should give the dogs a vote as well.
I'll ask my horse.
That's a scene from the final episode of Game of Thrones. Though the show is fantasy, there are many historical examples where the idea that ordinary people could have a say in governance was laughable. But for every king and queen that balked at giving their subjects the right to vote, there were ancient societies that had really advanced ideas of citizenship.
For a Greek citizen, it really was intimately engaged with, wrapped up with your everyday life.
Josiah Ober is a political science and classics professor at Stanford.
It wasn't simply a matter of going and voting every 4 years or every 2 years. It wasn't simply a matter of writing letters to a representative.
Over 2,500 years ago, Athenian citizens went to assemblies 40 times a year. Most of them were also picked from a lottery at least once in their lives to spend a year working full-time in government. It's like jury duty, but for a whole year. And they made decisions about everything.
Everything. War, peace, economic policy, welfare policy. How do we make sure that the streets stay clean? Should we build new warships? You name it.
And then they would go back to their homes and jobs and be responsible for implementing those policies as workers, soldiers, property owners.
So the whole point of citizenship for a classical Greek was that you were not a subject. In Aristotle's terms, you ruled and you were ruled over in your turn.
But it wasn't perfect. Not all people had equal rights. To be a citizen, you had to be a man with parents who were citizens. Women were not citizens. Many people were even owned as slaves. As political powers shifted and empires grew, gradually, over a few hundred years, the ancient Greek system disappeared. But it is the basis for modern-day democracy. Except cities and states got a lot bigger.
So it's much harder for people to interact with a wide range of members of the community in these sort of face-to-face interactions.
Emily Chapman is one of Josiah Ober's political science colleagues at Stanford. She says because people couldn't spend the same amount of time participating in politics, voting became central to the idea of citizenship. But there are also other ways to engage.
Demonstrations, campaigning, donating one's time to sort of organizing, those sorts of things are all crucial activities of citizenship.
But which activities are considered acceptable has changed over time, like protesting, for example.
If you look at surveys among Americans in the 1960s, a lot of people basically say that it's not an acceptable form of political participation. But then, like, over the course of a couple of decades, you see this shifting where people come by the 1990s to see protest as being a normal and legitimate way of exercising your rights or powers as a citizen to try and influence the public rules.
Chapman says one of the things that might influence people's attitudes about protesting and demonstrating is that it's open to everyone, even if the person doesn't have official citizenship. And that can be a sign of a healthy democracy.
Even if it's not a kind of formal role in decision-making, I mean, in well-functioning democracies, the rights of free speech are extended to non-citizens as well.
And that's crucial for creating a culture in which democracy is able to flourish.
Democracy is coming to the USA.
For Philosophy Talk, I'm Shireen Hadid.